Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and today I wanted to talk about the idea of having a lower damage model in Battlefield 4 because during the E3 convention, DICE said that they reduced the damage significantly, at least for the demonstration. They wanted to make it so that the people that were playing the demo could run around and they weren't just dying instantaneously from random things that were going on in the environment. But now this has people thinking, well, what if they did reduce the damage a little bit, at least compared to Battlefield 3, and made it more in line with what we had in Bad Company 2? So for an example that I kind of came up with, instead of taking 4 shots to drop someone up close with an assault rifle, it would take 5 shots, or at a distance, instead of taking 6 shots, it'll only take 7. And while that's only a 1 bullet difference for close range and long range combat, if you really think about it, that changes up the dynamic of the game significantly, and it would change the way how you approach combat in the upcoming game. And so for today, I kind of wanted to explore this concept and this idea of having a reduced damage model for all the weapons in Battlefield 4 and kind of putting it more in line with what we had back in Bad Company 2. And so the first thing, and probably the most significant change that people would see, is that it would require more skill on the part of the individual player to drop someone. The more bullets it takes to kill an enemy, the longer you have to compensate for recoil. You can't just spray and pray all over the place, get lucky with a couple of shots and drop them like you can in some first-person shooters. And I'm not saying that you can really do that in Battlefield 3. You can kind of do that on maybe like the close quarter maps, but in most circumstances, you have to be fairly accurate. But if you made it so that it required even just a little bit longer to drop someone, it's going to extend that skill gap a little bit more. And what this means for some people is that if you're really good with a weapon, you've mastered it, you know exactly how it's going to bounce when it recoils, and then you go against someone who's maybe newer to the game, or they just picked up a weapon for the very first time and they're not exactly sure how it performs. If they get the drop off on you and this system is in place, because it's taking them longer to take you out, this gives you more time to turn around and use your accuracy to your advantage and drop them. And while you can do that in some circumstances in Battlefield 3, the suppression effect also kind of makes it harder, but they're also reducing that in Battlefield 4. With this will just increase the skill gap and make it so that skill is rewarded a little bit more. And I know that a lot of Battlefielders out there would kind of like that in the upcoming game. Another significant change is that the light machine guns for the support class are going to become a little bit more viable. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, how is that possible? Well, if you're using the standard assault rifle with 30 rounds in the magazine, because it now requires 1 extra bullet to drop everyone at all ranges, it effectively is reducing your killing potential and you're not able to take out as many targets, and if you're not very accurate with them, you're gonna run out of your magazine very quickly, or it's gonna feel like you're gonna run out of your magazine faster. And while this is still going to affect the light machine guns, it won't be as apparent because you have 200 rounds at your disposal. And back in Bad Company 2, where it was kind of like this system, the light machine guns felt a little bit more useful because they weren't having to constantly reload, and you could take out multiple targets if you got the drop on them and your accuracy was true. And while you could kind of do that with the assault rifles, because you were putting more bullets downrange, you were having to reload a lot more frequently. And while of course this wouldn't be a huge buff by any means, it would elevate their effectiveness a little bit more than what we currently have and make them a little bit more of an appealing choice. Another nice change is that this would increase the effectiveness of recons significantly, especially for the bolt action rifles. I'm assuming DICE is going to keep the same type of system where if you get a headshot at all ranges and you're using an SV98, you're using a bolt action rifle, you're going to drop the target in 1 hit. And now because everyone else is taking longer to kill people, that one-shot killing potential is going to be a lot more beneficial, and it's going to be a huge advantage over everyone else. And also because it's going to take them longer to kill you, and also since the assault rifles and the SMGs and everything other than other bolt actions and the light machine guns won't have the suppression effect, or it's going to have a diminished suppression effect, it is going to be a lot easier when you get in duels with other classes now, simply because you're going to have extra time to take them out, and that one-shot killing potential, that threat of snuffing someone's life out instantaneously, is going to be a lot more appealing when everyone else is taking so much longer to drop your targets. So that's just kind of what I thought of. If DICE did decide to do this, we don't know if it's true by any means. This is all speculation at this point, but I thought it would be kind of fun to talk about. So if this is something that you would like to see in Battlefield 4, let me know down below in the comment section. Maybe give your reasons why. If you would like it to stay kind of like what it is in Battlefield 3, also let me know down below and state why. But yeah, guys, that is about it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed this little conversation, and so until tomorrow, have a good one and take it easy.